Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. As you can see from the wheel behind me, it is time for another round of my Wheel of TBR, this time for the month of July. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a recap of how I did last month. So the first spin had given me a book published between 2001 and 2020, and for that I selected The Mysterious Benedict Society and the Riddle of Ages by Trenton Lee Stewart. I am in the process of reading this one. I just started it. This is actually only Saturday, June 24th, so I have a full week left to finish my TBR. This one will get done by the end of this week, so yes, we're gonna count this one as done. My next spin gave me a classic, and for that I chose The Histories by Herodotus. This one I am also in the process of reading and am hoping to have finished by the end of the month. This one I am about halfway, actually a little bit more than halfway through. This book has almost 600 pages and I'm on 318. So hopefully I can finish this by the end of the month. If not, I'll carry it over into July, but it will get done. The next spin gave me an unseasonal read, and for that I chose Wayward by Amelia Hart, which I did read. The next pick, I had to choose a title from my TBR jar, and I selected The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell, which I did read. And the final spin was a TBR vet, and for that I chose The Poison Eaters and Other Stories by Holly Black, which I did read. So I have read 3 of the 5, and I'm in the process of finishing the last 2. So not too bad. As I said, I have a week left, so hopefully I can get them done. If not, I don't stress about it. I just carry them over. Slight angle change just to try to fit things in the screen a little bit better. But as always, I'm going to be doing 5 spins. At the end of those 5 spins, I will talk about any other books that I'm hoping to get to during the month. July is my last free month of summer break, so I'm hoping to get quite a bit of reading done. But as I mentioned, I don't stress about it. What gets done gets done. But let's see what the wheel has in store for me with spin number 1. All right, and our first one is a book with a 4+ word title. Let me see what I want to do. All right, spin number 1, as you saw, gave us a book with 4+ words in the title. And for that one, I am choosing The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. We know this is a chunky book. I'd always planned on reading it in July so that I can kind of just take it bit by bit. July, as I mentioned, is my last free month of the summer break, and we're gonna tackle this baby in July. So this is my pick for 4+ word title. I was gonna read it anyway, might as well put it on the TBR. All right, we're gonna replace that with this one, which is an ebook. All right, spin number 2. All right, spin number 2 is a middle grade book. Definitely can pick something with that. Let's see which one I want to go with. Middle grade gave me a little bit of trouble only because I was really trying to decide what exactly I wanted to read, but I'm going to go ahead and go with a book off of my 10 series to finish in 2023 list. I have a middle grade series on there. I haven't read either of the other 2 books, so now's a good time, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the second book in the League of Princes series, which is called The Hero's Guide to Storming the Castle. This is by Christopher Healy. This is like fairy tale retellings from the prince's points of view. I really enjoyed the first one. Looking forward to continuing the series. I do want to finish the series this year, so this will help me make progress on that goal. All right, we're gonna replace middle grade with water on the cover. And now spin number 3. All right, this one says stars on the cover. That's probably going to take some looking around. Let me see what I can find. Stars on the cover, that gave me some trouble, and I'm not even really sure if this counts as stars, but we are going with it. I'm choosing The Wilder Women by Ruth Emmy Lang. So if you look right here, to me, that looks like stars. So that's what I'm going with. I looked through multiple books. I decided to use this one as my book of the month pick. I am trying to read a book of the month book each month. This one is fairly new. I got this one in November of 2022, so at least it's not a year old yet, but we're going with it. That's the best I could do for stars, so that's my pick for stars on the cover. All right, we're gonna replace stars on the cover with the title does not contain. So if I land on this one, not this time, but in the future, I would do a random letter generator and the title has to not contain that letter. All right, spin number 4. All right, we're bouncing between ones that I've already had, but this one is a series finale. Most likely I can find something. I have quite a few series going on right now. So let me see which one I want to do. Series finale is another one that I kind of was waffling over. I have a couple finales that I could have chosen. I'm actually going with what is technically a prequel because it's labeled as book 0, but I'm gonna go ahead and read Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. This is like the prequel to The Hate U Give. I read The Hate U Give when it was released many years ago. Always wanted to read this prequel. I've heard that it's not quite as good, but I still really want to read it. To me, this is a finale because it will finish off a series, so it's what we're going for series finale. All right, we're going to replace series finale with, an Agatha Christie book, because I have been wanting to check out her books. I've never read any books by her, so that's why I put that on there. All right, and the final spin, spin number 5. All right, and for that one, we have a book that has some sort of adaptation. Adaptation, I knew exactly what I was gonna pick. It is the prequel, again, to a book that I'm currently reading, and that is The Extraordinary Education of Nicholas Benedict. This is the prequel to the Mysterious Benedict Society series. It was adapted on Disney Plus, which I believe they've now since removed it, which is sad because I never got a chance to watch it, but I'm counting this as adaptation. They at least adapted the first book, I believe, so this is part of that series. We're counting it, and this will check off a series on my 10 series to finish in 2023. All right, and then let's replace adaptation just to get it ready for August, and that one is going to be a hardcover. All right, now that the 5 picks are out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and chat about the other books that I need to get to in the month of July. So the first one is going to be my buzzword pick. So the buzzword is a weather-related word. And for that one, I am picking Invisible Storm, A Soldier's Memoir of Politics and PTSD. This is by Jason Kander. Jason Kander was the Missouri Secretary of State. He ran for the Senate and was narrowly defeated in what had turned into like a majorly Republican state. So it was kind of like a big deal that he almost won, but he pulled out of politics because he realized he was suffering from PTSD due to his time in the military, and this is his story. I've heard amazing things. I've owned this since it came out. I believe it came out at the end of last year, and I hadn't read it, and I was initially going to read, yeah, this is 2022. I was initially going to read a different book for the buzzword, but I've since decided I don't really want to read that one because it would be the start of a series, and I'm not really sure I want to do that, so I'm swapping it for this one, but this will be my buzzword pick. Very excited to read this. Yeah, just really excited. So that's the first one. The second thing that I need to read is the Literally Dead book club pick for July, which is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I have this one on hold for my library, so whenever it comes in is when I will get to it, but that one I need to read as well. And then I'm trying to read 2 books off my 23 and 2023 list each month. The Priory of the Orange Tree is one of them, and the other one that I think I'm going to read this month is this one right here, which is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. I have loved both books that I have read by her so far. Very much looking forward to reading this one. Hope that it's as good as the previous 2. I just really love her writing, the way she writes historical fiction. This one is set in New Orleans in 1950, and I'm excited. So that is the other 23 and 2023 book that I'm probably going to read unless something changes. And then the last thing I need to read is the next Nancy Drew book. I am on number 19. It is The Quest of the Missing Map. So try to read one of those a month. That's the one up for July, and I think that's everything I need to read. But I am vlogging. I'm doing weekly vlogs. I did them through June, and I'm planning on doing them all throughout July. So if you're curious about my thoughts on any of the books that I just talked about and chose for my wheel, check out those vlogs because that's where I'm going to read them. And I think that's it, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.